cloud. So it's 10 o'clock. Thanks everybody for joining us. Are we waiting for a couple more people?
I think, yeah, let's
a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That transition might be a little.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It did work yesterday smooth, but oh, okay. We already have somebody here. Okay. Two more people. Awesome. Yeah. So we have Amanda, Alex D, Leslie, Lani, Prashama, Rebecca, Tatiana, Victoria, and Uncle Randy.
Teresa?
Yes?
We're gonna give it just a few more minutes. They are wrapping up from the previous session, okay?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Message.
No, that's fine. No worries. Let me see if I can, find the, like right here, the video that I sent it to while we wait. We can start with this while we wait. Hold on just a sec. Okay, we're still waiting for the transition. I'm gonna put it in iMovie. Okay.
You come in many forms. Some may never even get to meet you.
Let's go to that. I'm gonna share my screen and show you for those that didn't see the video. At the beginning. Child care, youth. I send it to, okay. Join. We have 11 more people. Let me let them in the room.
All right, Teresa, after we admit these individuals coming in, let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Okay, we have, so welcome everybody. We already have like 20 people here. Thank you for joining us today. And we're ready to start like the ZoomB from this conference. And basically the panel is Beyond Remote Learning innovation for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness of our youth. So we're going to with Amanda. Amanda, welcome and welcome everybody.
Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate it. So hello, welcome everyone to our Dreamweek Youth Panel. We are joined by 4 local San Antonio youth today, and we are going to be talking about everything from the pandemic to social justice movements to the current political climate. So our youth are going to be the experts in the room today. My role at the YWCA is the Youth Engagement Manager of the Teens Taking Action / Teen Service Learning Program. I also oversee our Mi Carrera program, which is a girls empowerment program within the youth department. I'm also joined today by the rest of the youth team. So Leslie Green, who oversees the Reset program, Abigail Tavini, who oversees the E=MC² STEAM and STEM program, Kimberly Berry, who oversees our teen dating violence prevention program for youth professionals in the community, and then also Miss Pershama Daly. So she is the Director of Youth Services. I would ask and tell everyone that the youth department, we have a presence on social media. So you can find us on Facebook at YWCA SA Teens. And we are also on Instagram under YWCA SA Teens, all one word. Just some quick housekeeping before we get started. I am going to ask that all of our attendees to mute your microphones and then turn your cameras off during the panel. That way we can just see who the speakers are. If there is time at the end of the panel, we will open it up for Q&A. So if you do have any questions for our panelists, please feel free to drop a question into the chat, and Prashama will be able to see those in real time so then we can present them to our youth. So our panel today consists of 4 local, amazing, awesome teens, and they're going to be speaking about all kinds of things. I'd like to introduce them. So we have on our panel today, Miss Victoria Trevino. Victoria is 18 years old and is a senior at Providence Catholic School. She currently serves as the student body president and is the captain of the track team. She plans on attending Trinity University to study environmental sciences in the fall, if everything goes as planned. And Victoria is also a member of our Teens Taking Action group that started in late November of 2020. We also have Alex Dawson, 16, who is a sophomore at Judson High School, where she's a member of the varsity drill team and is a participant of the track team. After high school, she's planning on majoring in medicine with the goal of becoming a general surgeon. We also have Lonnie, 13, and they are bringing a really unique perspective to our panel today because they are homeschooled. And on top of that, Lonnie is super passionate about racial and social justice issues and is also a member of our Teens Taking Action group. And finally, we have Tatiana Easterling, who is 16 and is also a sophomore at Judson High School. She runs the varsity cross country, varsity track, and plays varsity soccer for Judson, basically everything at Judson. And after high school, she is interested in either doing going to law school or joining the Navy. So kind of 2 things at once, maybe both, who knows? So I'd like to open up the panel first with our very first question, which will be for everyone to answer. So 2020 has been a year. We are now in 2021. It might feel like we're still kind of living in 2020, but there are going to be a lot of people in this room today that are adults. So they might be adult professionals in the field. They might be teachers. They might be counselors. They might be parents, or just concerned citizens in San Antonio. From the panelists, what do you want people to know or people in the community to know about what you're dealing with? What's been going on in your world since the pandemic? And I'll open it up to all the panelists.
I'll go first. Okay, hi, I'm Victoria, and I just want to say that thank you for being here. And I think for me personally, as a senior, a lot of things have been different considering COVID with everything going on, and then with the political change in our nation. For me personally, as in school, I'm staying home, so that's something that's definitely different and not what I wanted my senior year to look like. And certain things have not happened, as like we got prom taken away, so that was one thing that was taken away from COVID. And then also being 18, I was able to vote. So watching everything kind of unfold politically was kind of neat, and trying to make that decision when I go to vote, when I went to go vote, that was also cool because I was able to participate in a history changing election. And then with everything going on, of course, with the Black Lives Matter movement, and that was interesting to see unfold. And just I'm excited to see what history has to say later on.
I would say adjusting to the big change that we have, with not being able to socialize and go out and, see each other as often. It's a big change for us to adjust to, and it's really pretty hard, but I think we'd get better at it, but it's just a big change.
So, like everything we went through in 2020 was basically like we were living history, like the election, the coronavirus, everything that's happened like politically, like that wouldn't normally happen, especially us being like most of us not even being in college yet. And so it really is crazy to see like stuff like that before you're even really an adult. And it's like you're going to be in the history books kind of thing. You're going to be like, oh, I lived through that kind of thing. So I think that's kind of crazy, and I don't know.
I definitely think it's hard. I think it's hard on everyone, but being an adult and being a teenager are two completely different things. So I don't think we would um, get what each of us is going through unless we were in that person's shoes. So I wouldn't understand what the adult is going through, and the adult wouldn't understand what the teen is going through. And especially being a very social generation and having this socialness be taken from us, basically, I think that's hard to process too. And um, yeah, it's just, we have to get through it, I guess.
Awesome, thank you. So it sounds like all of you have kind of touched on some similar topics, right? So the social like aspect of the pandemic, how it's affected your social lives. It's affected celebrations, like for Victoria, for example, no prom. And I'm wondering too, from those that are attending school, how has the pandemic challenged you academically during this time? How's it different?
Um, we definitely have to time manage well, I would say, because we are receiving a lot of work from different classes. And so it's kind of hard to keep up with it, especially if you're in extracurricular. So I think it just made us time manage more. And yeah.
Going back on what Alex said, there is definitely more work given to us, but with that work, I feel like we're not really learning anything because being on the internet, we have access to basically everything we need to get the answers. So it's not really processing. I mean, we're just doing it to turn it in at this point. I've seen straight A students just trying to keep their grades up as much as they can, like people not even caring about their grades anymore. And I think the learning process has gotten very much harder. And I know most parents might think it's easy, especially because we have access to work and the answers, that we should just be turning it in just like that. And we should basically have straight A's, but that's not the case. And it's really stressful and very hard.
And Victoria, for you as a senior, having to do this, going through a pandemic, trying to get all of your schoolwork in, getting all of that done, how has that transition been for you, especially knowing that you're going to be looking at colleges and moving on? How has that affected you?
Well, for one, the academic portion of it looks different. I mean, going into school now is different too, and seeing how my school kind of works with COVID. And then I like to look at how the other colleges are looking at it too. And I think safety is something that they should definitely take into consideration. And then also for the colleges, they're taking away the requirement of having SAT scores and ACT scores. So anyone can kind of really apply, but I mean, in a way that's good. And it kind of helps those that really want to show off their resume. And then for some, it kind of takes away the opportunity that they have a really good SAT score and they can't show it off because it's not required. They can still turn it in, but it's not required. And I think looking at colleges, it's also kind of limited my choices as to where I want to go, because in spring break is when everything happened. And that was kind of the moment when I wanted to go out and tour colleges. And ever since that, I never got to go tour them, especially the ones that are out of state. And so seeing from afar what these colleges look like and just online, most of them also do virtual tours, which is really nice, but you never get to actually step foot in their campus and see what the student body is like. And then even if you were to, most of the students are not even there because they're at home. It's definitely changed the college searching journey. But I mean, I like seeing the way the colleges look and how they're, like I said, how they're preparing with the COVID. I think it says a lot about their movement around the university and like the students.
And Lonnie, for you, you're going to have a different perspective of how school is, and then also just moving forward, what your plans are for possibly going to public school in the future. What are your thoughts about all of this?
Well, so as homeschool, I was already kind of like, it wasn't a big change with Corona, but it did change the fact that a lot of the times we had like field trips like every Friday and stuff, and we would go to the museum or go to the zoo with all my family, and we have a pretty big family, so it was like super fun. It was a special occasion, or we'd go to a restaurant or something, and that was really our only time to get out of the house. And now we can't even do that. So it feels like that privilege of being able to have fun and go to the zoo or whatever is taken away from us. And it's really upsetting to not be able to like have the freedom you used to have, to be able to go to the next door neighbor and knock on their door and be like, hey, you want to hang out? You can't do that anymore. So I don't know, it's kind of upsetting. Also for my younger siblings who were in public school before Corona started, they have told me over and over again how much they miss their friends, how much they miss their teachers and stuff. Their teachers sometimes give them little like gift baskets on their birthday and stuff, which I think is super sweet. But they don't really get to interact with kids their age anymore, and it's really upsetting. And it's really upsetting to me because, we barely got out of the house to begin with, and now we don't even go out at all.
For the other panelists, anything else to add about your social lives, how things have changed?
My social skills have really gone down. They weren't good before, but they're definitely not good now. And I just wonder how that's going to affect me in the long run when it comes to my career and stuff like that, how I'm going to interact with people. So, yeah, I would just say my social skills have gone down and it's going to affect me when it comes to my future.
Um, like I said before, being a really social generation and having that taken from us is really put an effect on us, especially me. Like I'm more aware of germs and like I don't touch people, like giving them hugs or high fives or handshakes. So I think that's going to affect me also in the long run. um, I just think it would affect my social skills with people, um, and not being able to like go to school and talk to people since I don't really talk to people now. I think that would be hard too, just talking to people, just communicating.
And then one more thing just to add for COVID for everyone. In our previous panel, we were talking about how people's mental health has changed based off of the pandemic, which probably has a lot to do with what's going on with school, feeling overwhelmed, having all of these extra assignments, having to do them in a different way or a different format. And then on top of that, the socializing part has kind of gone away. How would y'all rate your mental health at like the beginning of this pandemic and now? How is it?
I was pretty proud at how I was doing in the beginning of the pandemic. I know that was a big part and everyone was all freaking out. And I was like, I got this. I'm doing pretty well because I was able to cope with different hobbies around the house. I was outside gardening. But I think now already, what, 6 months in, longer than that, or it it's gotten, it kind of went downhill a little bit. And I think with school, maybe that's a factor. And I think just the idea of being sick of doing the same thing over and over. And I heard on the radio one time they called it the new normal. So what does that kind of say about it? I mean, I think it's gotten better because you just like humans definitely have to be social, and that's one thing. And I mean, you can FaceTime and you can text and everything, on the internet, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Victoria. Like at the beginning, I was like, oh, I don't have it as bad as everybody else. I'm going to be fine. I've already homeschooled. I know what to do. Everything's chill. And then like 4 months went by and I just kind of went, "Ooh." I stopped doing work. I stopped socializing. I stopped getting out of my room. I stopped doing anything like at all that required me to work. And like I was already depressed, but then like as soon as that hit me, I got really, really, really bad. And I'm trying to break that cycle of just like not doing anything at all. And I know people think, oh, you're just being lazy. No, I literally mentally can't get out of bed sometimes. And it hurts because I can't go anywhere to enjoy my time for once. Like I can't get out of the house. I can't, you know, change it up, switch it up or anything, right? And so like honestly, my mental health right now is not the best, but like I'm trying to get better because it really is the new normal at this point because it's it's how it is now. We're not just going to snap our fingers and everything's going to go back to normal. Nothing's going to go back to how it was before the pandemic. There's nothing that's going to change it. Even if Corona gets better or goes away, it's not going to change our social skills, everything that has affected us this year. And that really sucks because like I was okay and now I'm not. just because of everything that's been happening or happened in 2020. And, this year last year was not the best. And I'm hoping we can at least recover somewhat from it after a while, and hopefully we'll all get better together. So
I think being isolated and not having the option to go out anymore is taking a toll on mental health, because naturally you would leave the house to get away from, work or, stress, but we really don't have that option anymore. So it's just kind of you're stuck dealing with it. So I think having to sit here and having to face the stress and not being able to have an outlet or anything like that is really putting a toll on our mental health.
I think mental health, especially for teens, has gone downhill by a lot, especially with the schoolwork. Like I said before, we get so much of it. And if it's not all done, then our parents make us do it at that point. And I think not being able to have an outlet is one of the things that really get to us. Like, for example, I've done schoolwork for 3 weekends in a row, not being able to see my friends or going out and hanging out. And I think that is the main thing that puts teens in a position to where they feel like they can't do anything or have any fun anymore. And so no one really understands that but the people we have it in common with.
Awesome. Thank y'all for sharing that. So taking all of that into consideration and thinking about, there's definitely things that y'all are wanting, right? You want to be able to socialize. You want to be able to work on your mental health. You want a little bit of a break from school. And because everyone is living kind of virtually at this point, right? People can't just go places. Organizations like ours at the YWCA, we are a community center that offers team programming, right? And I would imagine that there's other people on this Zoom meeting that work with youth that also are either teachers or counselors or parents or anything like that. Do you have any suggestions or ideas for how people or organizations can get a hold of y'all that can help you out, can engage you? What are your thoughts?
I think one way that you could reach us is through social platforms. Since we really don't have anywhere to go or anything to do, we're mostly on social media, especially now. So I think the only way you could reach us is through social platforms, since we really can't go out and communicate to each other face to face. So I really think that social media is the way.
Yeah, like I know, like Alex was saying, I think social media is a good one, especially Instagram, the platform Instagram, because Facebook, yes, is helpful, but I feel like a lot of our younger generations don't necessarily use Facebook as often as adults do. So I think Instagram would be, and then they also have the little story feature, and you can put like a little tip or something.
All right, so social media for sure. And then kind of switching gears, thinking about, okay, let's move past the pandemic and let's talk about some of the social justice movements that y'all have either taken part in or witnessed on social media, on TV, spoken with your peers about. What are some things that happened in 2020 that you are aware of and was really on your mind?
I think a lot of things happened in 2020 that is just something that you can't really unpack, or you have to be like, okay, let's go through each one. I mean, with the election going on, and then of course with the pandemic, and I mean that was worldwide, and it's kind of interesting to see how the world is watching the U.S. and how they're taking care of everything. And then of course with the Black Lives Matter movement and just everything going on, it was a lot to unpack. I mean, personally for me, because I was going to vote in turning 18, I think I was definitely watching what the different sides have to say and everything that was going on in between, and how I guess politicians are taking care of it. Yeah, watching how the politicians took a hold of it and just with everything going on. And I feel kind of bad because the society, the American public, kind of had to deal with it too. They'll have to kind of understand slowly that this was happening, and our nation was changing and going through a social change and a political change and economic change, just a lot of changes.
I think being in quarantine and having nothing else to do, it really brought attention to what was really going on with the society and the community as a whole, and with politics. So I guess you can say that it brought attention to the Black Lives Matter movement, and when it came to the election, how things were doing, and it really brought out the sides of the political parties, and yeah.
The Black Lives Matter, um, that that is kind of a touchy subject, just being an African American and knowing how things are. Um, but it was also kind of refreshing at the same time to have other people um, interested in it and trying to fight for the Black Lives Matter. And then the election, all of the things going on with that, all of the things that happened was a real eye opener, and all of the debates going on around both subjects was also a real eye opener.
Yeah, being like most of the time I'm not really into politics. Like I was not like crazy about social justice or anything, but this year has just like I've just been like, whoa. Like I was astonished by how many people were going against what I thought, like going against my race, my sexuality, my gender, going against all of it. And I'm like, what? I did not know that many people actually thought those things, you know? And so it's really made me like stood up and like get into it, because I did not want to stand for stuff like that. And I think Black Lives Matter was a really good, not good, but it was good that people finally started to acknowledge what was happening in America. Like they finally started acknowledging like what's been going on, what's been happening, you know. And so many like innocent lives were lost, but we like people who supported that were not going to let their lives go down in vain. Like we were going to help them support it and work for a cause. So I think, and also with like politics, like I said, I'm not really into politics, but then just like all of a sudden in 2020, I was just like, bam, 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 bam kind of thing. Like I was going to change the world from what I thought was right, you know, because people deserve rights, people deserve marriage, people deserve basic human rights kind of thing. And I was so surprised about how many people who like hated me or like hated people like me just for how I was born, kind of thing. And it made me realize that, and it helped other people realize that they were wrong, and it helped me realize that there are people out there who are standing beside me and who are going to help me to not be afraid to get pulled over once I get a driver's license and stuff, you know, like hopefully we'll change the world for the better with Black Lives Matter movements and every other minority movement.
Thank you for that, Lonnie. So I'd like to ask our two Teens Taking Action members, so Lonnie and Victoria. They've been part of the group since the beginning, since we did our youth needs assessment and we had our first session. We've met probably about 7 times since then. I'm wondering, for youth that might be on this meeting right now, what would you say about the Teens Taking Action group? Would you recommend it? What has been helpful? What would you like to say about it?
I think the Teens Taking Action group was a good way to understand and to break down what was happening in our world, and to also understand where opinions are coming from and how maybe other people see the world and how others might feel towards that. I think it's a good way to talk and discuss about what's happening with those that are safe around you. It's a little safe space.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Victoria. It is definitely a very safe space to be in, to express your opinions and have them being actually took into consideration. Because I know not everybody has very supporting families, and it's really a breath of fresh air to have someone to have your opinions expressed and like have someone understand you, kind of thing. So I would definitely recommend the Teens Taking Action. It's really a great time to express your frustrations and just have a little safe space to just be you, kind of thing.
And I would like to add, for those who are interested that are on this meeting today, before we leave, I will drop my email into the chat, unless Prashama can do that for me. If you are interested in joining our group, we try to meet about twice a month, if not more. And it's usually through Zoom, and it is a social justice group. So we talk about kind of current events, things that are going on. We met the day after the insurrection at the Capitol and kind of unpacked everything that was going on. And we have a meeting coming up this Friday, so we can do a post-inauguration kind of get together, and we can talk about what happened. If it was good, if it was bad, if some other things happened, we don't know. But that is open for teens in San Antonio, ages 12 to 19. And the only thing that we do is we have some group agreements that we go over to make sure that it is a safe space and that everyone's kind of on the same page when they join that group. Moving forward, I'd like to do our last question for the group, then we can open it up to Q&A for anyone. So we are now in 2021. We're in January. We have inauguration happening on Wednesday. We've got people who are going to be graduating high school and moving on, you know, different things are happening in your lives. What are your feelings, thoughts, and hopes for 2021? And I'll open it to the whole panel.
I'm excited. I mean, maybe because I may be biased because I'm going to be moving on to a next chapter in my life, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And then also I'm graduating high school, so I think transitioning from a student that's in high school to maybe to a student in college, and then also to like adulthood. But then I'm also kind of nervous to see what would happen. I think definitely something doesn't go the way others plan, something might happen that's necessarily, I guess you would call it bad, or something that we're not expecting. I think it's kind of bittersweet. It can go both ways.
I'm hoping that we take our experiences from 2020 and apply it to this year with much more better intentions. And God, I was gonna say.
We'll circle back to Alex. Tatiana, Lonnie, what are your hopes for 2021?
I hope it's going to be better. I am hoping it's gonna be a breath of fresh air sort of thing. And I really hope we can get the coronavirus under control with the new laws that are going to be installed for it. And I just hope it's going to be a better year.
I am just hoping everyone would just chill out, just like calm down. Like, there's so much hate going around, and especially a lot of hate going around in 2020. So I'm just hoping everyone will just chill out for this year, just so we can like recollect ourselves to where we can like have a civil like country, you know, just like chill out, be better, learn from our mistakes, and just go on with life kind of thing, you know. Just hopefully we can just get things back on track. Hopefully we can just make sure we are all safe and healthy and happy, because that's all we really need right now is to just chill out. And I'm just hoping this year people will calm down after the new president gets in. Hopefully nothing bad happens. We'll just chill out, get over it, and just calm down. I swear. Just like, I hope 2021 is just a chill year. I know it's not off to a great start, but I just hope it's better than 2020.
Alex, did you want to add anything else about your hopes, thoughts, dreams about 2021?
It's not coming back to me. I don't remember what I was going to say.
All right. So while we're waiting for a couple more questions, I have another question that just came through. Specifically for your teachers or for your parents, are there any things that you think would be helpful for them to engage with you? Are there any suggestions you have about all that schoolwork that you have going on and the realities of being a student?
I definitely think they can give less work. And I'm not just saying that because I don't want to do work, but it is a lot to handle. And it's a lot for us to do. So I think maybe just cutting it back on the work a little bit. And since we're not like really doing tutorings, I think that teachers should open up a break room or something if we need it, and to maybe go one-on-one or like have a smaller group within the classroom so we can try to get things down a little bit better.
I think they should really take a look from our perspective when we have to, looking at how we have to adjust to this and how we feel with having to be stuck in the house with all the work we have. Um, I think just lightening the workload a little bit. I mean, I know that we have to do work, but I think they need to realize that we do have other classes that we get work in also, so it also piles up when we get all our work at the end of the day. And just because we're home doesn't mean we have more time. We're still having to like I said in the beginning, time manage better, to split our time between extracurriculars and each class to get everything done on time. So I think just taking a look at our perspective.
I definitely agree with that because, like, we're not even adults yet, and we've already gone through an election, a plague, and we're all forced to be homeschooled now, and we're not allowed to escape our homes. And just all of that combined with having to do like extra things and extra work is a bit too much, a lot too much, because we like we don't want our teen years to be wasted on just sitting on a computer all day. Like we want to get out and do stuff in the world, but unfortunately it has to be through our like house, through our home kind of thing. And so maybe just giving us a lighter load would definitely help for us to just explore ourselves, to figure things out on our own would definitely help, I think.
All right. And we do have one other question that came in. So normally in high school and even like middle schools, I know it was true when I was in school that normally that there would be cliques in school, right? Like you're part of this group or you're part of that group, right? Like I was the goth kid that was also on the debate team. So I was kind of a weird kid. And it was very exclusionary, right? You were either part of this group or that group. You're either the cool kid and the not cool kid, right? So how has that been during the pandemic? And do you have any suggestions on how to be more inclusive or supportive of each other during these times? How has that changed those like dynamics in school?
I really wish I had a friend group like I did before, or just even like a single friend, because like now you all can't get together from different households and just like hug and talk and laugh in the same room. When you go back, like what if someone has something, what if someone brings it home to their mom or their like grandma or something, who would have like a high risk of getting severely hurt and stuff. There is literal like safety reasons we can't have those little cliques anymore, and it really sucks because now I know like only a few of us get together with one or two friends, and even that has to be very restricted. So it really sucks because you can't have a big friend group anymore. It's kind of it's it you can't all get together and go to the movie theaters anymore, kind of thing. And instead you become if you don't have like a if you used to have like a big group of friends, now you probably only have one or two, kind of thing. And even then you probably don't even talk to them as much as you would if you go to school every day and go see them every day and everything else. And yeah, isolation has not been the best for everyone. I know a lot of introverts have like liked it for a while, but I know even me, an introverted person, has already been kind of done with doing the same thing over and over and over again. So it has not been the best time being isolated and not being able to talk to all your friends and stuff.
Amanda, this is Prasham. I just want to give you a time check. We are about 12 minutes out, and we do have a few questions in the chat.
All right, so I know, let's see, I'm seeing a lot of people are interested in our Teens Taking Action group. So I will be taking down emails of those who've left them in the chat. If you are interested for yourself, further up in the chat, my email is there. So you can just send an interest email and then I can be in touch with you. We do have a question about, let's see. So we are in the process of possibly opening up the YWCA for evening hours to offer a safe space for people to come hang out, get free Wi-Fi, to do homework, maybe get tutoring. just a place to kind of hang out and socialize. I'm wondering from the group here, would that be something beneficial for you? And would you be interested in a resource like that?
Yes, ma'am. It gives us something to do rather than sitting in the house all day. So I guess seeing other humans and interacting with others would help a lot.
I also think it would help, especially being in a change of scenery and not at a desk all day or in your room or downstairs at the kitchen table doing work. I definitely think that would help.
All right, and then one more question for the group. So what are ways you think or feel would be a good virtual interaction idea, especially for teachers? If teachers were trying to do a virtual interaction that would help or talk about either mental health or feeling isolated, what type of online activities or virtual interactions?
I don't know if we would call this, well, I guess it would be interactive, but I know one teacher for me personally was my math teacher. She sent out a Google form and it was just asking like, how are you doing? What do you think we should help with? What do you think I should improve on? How are you academically and how are you just overall? So I think just a little check-in would help.
All right.
Since we're on Zoom, I think something that would help would like be for us to turn off our cameras and not have our names and like she or he just asking us questions about how we're doing and stuff so we don't feel pressured to not say anything if we would have our cameras on and stuff.
All right. Well, awesome. Thank you everyone for participating today, all of the attendees who are here. Yes, go ahead.
There's one more question. We want to make sure that we do acknowledge that. And this is for the youth. Do you feel more isolated or more engaged with others online?
More isolated because there's not really a good way for us to interact with them or talk to them. So I think I'd say isolated, more isolated.
I would also say more isolated, especially if you don't really know the person you're talking to, then I think it would be harder to try to become friends with them or try to talk to them.
Yeah, I can agree with the isolated because it's not really like you can't really make new friends, especially if you're on like a Zoom class or anything like that. It's not going to be like, oh, hey, hi, how you doing kind of thing. You're doing the class, you're not socializing with anybody else. So yeah, isolated because like the only person I've really talked to is my family.
All right. I am Prashama Daly. I do serve as the youth director here for our youth department at the YWCA. We definitely would like to thank you all for joining us today. Definitely would like to thank our panelists, Alex, Tatiana, Victoria, and Lonnie. You guys have done an amazing job. This past hour, you have enlightened us all with what you are going through during this time. Many thanks to my youth manager, Amanda Benton, in her role in serving as part of being able to facilitate this discussion today and what she's done with our Teen Service Learning department at this time. We would like to continue to ask that you continue to participate with the YWCA conference today. There is a link in the chat box that will take you back to our main room with a list of the other activities that we will be having. We do have a panel discussion later on today today around economic development and what's happening within our community around that. And then later on this afternoon, we will have a discussion around women and wage equity and how does the wage equity gap, how it's affecting women today in our community here in San Antonio. So please continue to stick around with us today. Definitely follow up with Amanda Benton. If you are interested, if we have any teens that are still on that is interested in our Teen Taking Action group, or any parents or administrators would like to know more about the services that we do offer to teens in our San Antonio community. If you're not familiar with our location, we are located on the west side of San Antonio, and you can definitely reach us through our main YWCA social media site or our YWCA SA Teens social media site. We would like to thank you all today in recognition as we continue to remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on today. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm leaving on the chat the link to the main Zoom A, and whoever wants to continue with us, the next panel is the creating opportunities for economic empowerment and self-employment. And thank you for the team. Thank you for everybody for being here. And if you want to continue with us, if not, you're welcome to join the Zoom A. Thank you. Let's see who we have here.
Hey, Victoria. I graduated from Trinity University, so I work with Amanda. If you have any random questions about like places on campus, eating groups, anything like that, totally love to talk to you.
Thank you. Yes, I actually toured Trinity about a month ago, and I'm planning on running for them. I talked to the coach, and I fell in love with their athletic center. So I really like Trinity.
Cool, awesome, exciting.
Well, thank you for offering that.
Of course.
Okay, we're letting the panelists and speakers from the next panel, we're letting them in, and as I told you, you're welcome to stay here or join Zoom A. Thank you, Prashama, Kimberly, Alex, everybody. Oh, Sagrario is already here. Okay.
So youth panelists, thank you so much. Y'all rocked. You were awesome. Everything was cool. Everything was awesome. So I will be contacting you and we will move forward, and I'll be seeing y'all on Friday for our next Teens Taking Action group. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day, okay?
Congratulations.
Yes, y'all were great.
Yeah, great leaders. Thank you. So let me see who's already here. Sagrario, Veronica.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
I see Richard was here, one of our panelists.
Yes.
Mr. Ivy is here too.
Okay, that's what
Hi.
Good morning, I'm here too. Alma from Live Fund.
Perfect.
What we're gonna do, first of all, welcome to this breakout B, creating opportunities for economic empowerment, financial literacy, and self-employment. What we're gonna do, what I suggest is like just the panelists turn on their video so we can, concentrate on them. And since we're working with different accounts, the only thing that I have to do now is like make a host, because I have somebody else that is already signing in on the, it's a technical thing, but I'm gonna make you, Sagrario, a host, and from there you're gonna make a host to the next
Panelist.
panelist. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it's gonna be. So
So I'm gonna make a host, not co-host, right? To the next panelist.
yeah, that's the
Okay.
difference, because since you know, it's a technical thing, that since Francesca is already signing on with the other account, the only thing that I can do is make a host. So I'm
Okay.
gonna do a host, but you know, from there we're going to from one presenter to the other one, and then you go back to me at the end, please.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. We're still, let's see, let's wait a couple more minutes. And how was it, the other panel? Were you there?
I was in the panel A, the main.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it was great.
Awesome. Yeah. So let me know when you guys are ready. Okay, I'm gonna make you host, Sagrario. My name is Teresa Garza. I'm in charge of the marketing coordinator, and I'm working with CODA, the director of social justice in the organization of this event there. So let me make Sagrario a host. Remember, Sagrario, you're already a host, and from there you're going to make a host to the following, you know.
Okay, understood. Let me share. Let me check if I can share my screen now.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, I can do it now. Can you confirm if you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. Let me know if we can start now.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Are you waiting for more people? We have like 10 participants now, but actually you're gonna be the one that needs to let them in case that they're, because I don't have that privilege now.
Okay.
So whenever you want to start, we're ready to learn.
Okay, perfect. 1 second. Okay, I think that we should start now because I know that you're all very busy. So, okay. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here today. The day that we celebrate the life, the legacy, and the service of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. My name is Sagrario Ortega, and I'm part of the Economic Empowerment Department of YWCA. Today, we will talk about creating opportunities for economic empowerment, financial literacy, and self-employment. I would like to thank our panelists for being here today. We know that you are incredibly busy, and we are grateful that you gave us some of your time. Our first panelist will be Mr. Richard Cifuentes. Mr. Richard Cifuentes is the director of the UTSA Small Business Development Center. Cifuentes is an accomplished leader with over 37 years of experience in upper-level management, business advising, procurement, and project management. Prior to joining to UTSA Small Business Department Center, Cifuentes spent 17 years in leadership positions with the Department of Defense and United States Air Force, and he received the Department of Air Force Award for exemplary civilian service. Mr. Cifuentes also owned a small business where he gained firsthand experience about the challenges business owners face daily. He joined the UTSA Small Business Development Center in 2005 as a business development specialist and is the recipient of numerous certifications and awards during his tenure. He remained active as a senior business advisor, while mentoring his teammates and contributing significantly as a representative of the Small Business Development Center and Institute of Economic Development leadership teams. As you may know, the UTSA, Small Business Development Center, is the state's highest producing center. Cifuentes' passion for cultivating successful small businesses with great economic impact will contribute to continued growth of San Antonio and the surrounding areas. Okay, I would like to, one second, please, sorry about that. Okay, so that was introduction for Mr. Cifuentes. Mr. Cifuentes, thanks for being here today with us. He will give us some very important information about economic empowerment opportunities. Let me make him a host now.
Yes, please.
Mr. Cifuentes, thank you for being here today with us.
Thank you. Secretario, will you be showing the presentation or will I?
Since we can only have a host because of the technical situation, you will be showing the presentation, Mr. Cifuentes.
Okay, let me go ahead and do my thing here.
Yes, unfortunately, we cannot share both at the same time. Sorry about that.
So let me,
But we love the background. It looks great.
Yes, it does.
okay, well, if I can't figure this out fairly quickly, because I had to minimize my screen in order to show it. So now I'm not sure how to share utilizing Zoom.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me,
Next to the chat box.
okay, I think
Share
I
screen.
got it. Yeah, how's that? Can
Yeah,
y'all-
we see the screen.
Working.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. So thanks for the introduction. As you mentioned, I've been with the University of Texas Small Business Development Center for quite a while. And I have just a very fun occupation because I get to help the community, and we focus, our target is entrepreneurs and small business owners. And I'm excited because the other couple presenters here that you have are REEF partners along with us that we collaborate and work with and refer clients to them on a regular basis. So I'm excited to be here. And thank you so much for asking me to participate. So I'll talk a little bit about what we do. We are a program, and it's very simple. What we do is we do two core things. One is we provide consultants. Okay. I have a feeling this thing is going to run its course. So let me stop it here there and see if I can do that. But I'll just talk a little bit about it. What we do is we do two core things. One is small business advising to entrepreneurs and small business owners, and that's all we do, 100% completely at no cost. So if someone's interested in starting a business or has been in business for 50 years, either one, we will work with them. So we'll help a new business owner has an idea. We'll help them vet the idea and do the due diligence to see if it makes sense and what they need to do to start that business. But we also work with companies that have been in business, like I said, up 50 years or more, and we work with them to stay in business, grow their business, expand their business, and we have a number of resources to help them do that. Our consulting is completely free. So if you are in business for 30, 40 years, we can meet with you every day of the week at no cost. We also do, our service area is not only San Antonio, but it's Bexar County and 10 counties. We have a number of other programs as well. Once we start working with you, if you start expanding and growing, we have a department that specializes in import-export. So we have consultants and training in our International Trade Center. We have the Government Contracting Center as well. So for those that want to expand and work on getting city, county, state, federal contracts, we have experts that do nothing but advising in that area, also training in that area. We have a research department, which is called our SBDC Net. So that's where we go and pull information that's needed to help clients develop their business plans. We have a program, the Technology Commercialization Center, which is now a newer program. It's been around for about 3 years, and they are helping us focus on companies that are high-tech, STEM-based companies, science, technology, engineering, and math. So those companies that are technology-based, these are experts that work with those types of businesses. And then, of course, we have our COVID Business Recovery Accelerator, which is a new program. Because of the CARES Act, we basically put together a team to help us work with those companies to stay in business and to meet the demands and the challenges that are faced because of the COVID epidemic. And so we've got these programs that companies work with us, but then we have these partners that are also part of our organization as well that we can assist with. These are our territories, as I mentioned before. So these are the different counties that we service. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay, great. Other services, just to give you an idea, what do you do? What are your advising services? Well, this is just a short list of them, but as you can see, anywhere from business planning, market research, helping you determine the project cost to start your business or expand it, HR, social media, accounting, helping put loan proposals together for your lenders, for the banks and credit unions. With cash flow projections, we do a lot of QuickBooks training. And now more recently, we're doing profit mastery training, which is an advanced level of financial analysis. Other services, business model canvas and lean canvas training, business plan reviews, HR I mentioned, market research. And because of all the network of resources that we've partnered with, collaborated with, we make lots of referrals and we receive a lot of referrals. And then very quickly, these are just some of the upcoming January 2021 training classes. So the other thing I guess I don't think I mentioned is that we do lots of education, lots of training. We actually do 20 plus workshops that are no cost or low cost every single month. And so, as you can see here, this is just a few from our January training: marketing, leadership development, accounting, law, digital marketing, insurance, tax credits. So we offer a variety of training topics that are of value and benefit and of interest to small business owners and entrepreneurs. And so we're doing 200 plus workshops every single year. And I guess basically 99% of those are free. And if we do charge, they're very nominal charges that are very affordable. And that concludes my presentation. And I don't know if we're taking questions at the end or we're taking questions now. Whatever you'd like to do. So go ahead.
Okay, yes. We'll take the questions at the end of the chat box. Sorry, I did not mention it.
Okay. And that concludes my presentation. I'll go ahead and pause the sharing.
Thank you, Mr. Cifuentes.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Cifuentes, can you click my name and make me host again? Sorry about that, but we only have one host in this account. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Hello? Who was talking?
Me, Teresa.
Oh, okay. Yes, I asked him to make me host again. Is that right, Tere? Or would you be able to do that?
Already no, you continue.
Okay. So I have to make them host and they made me host back again, right?
because you know Francesca is already she already
Oh, okay. Okay, not a problem. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Mr. Cifuentes. Let me please introduce our next panelist. Our next, do you see my screen? Yes. Our next panelist, Jeff Ivy. He's the president and CEO of River City Federal Credit Union. Thank you, Mr. Ivy, for being here today. Jeff Ivy, as I mentioned, is the president and CEO of River City Federal Credit Union, a community development financial institution, and Juntos Avanzamos Credit Union located in San Antonio, Texas. Founded in 1936, the credit union serves members in the county and is also designated as a minority deposit institution. Ivy has over 30 years in the financial industry, working at large regional and small community banks, as well as large credit unions prior to joining River City in 2018. He's a graduate of Baldwin Wallace University and received his MBA from the University of Washington. He and his wife, Yanis, are also court-appointed child advocates with CASA CAP in San Antonio, working with children that are under Child Protective Services custody due to abuse and neglect. Mr. Ivy, thank you for being here today.
Thanks. And I do have one slide. It's just an information slide. So if you want to make me host, I can share that screen.
One second. Let me make you a host. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
And let me share that screen. Okay. Like I said, it's really just an information screen about River City. I guess I wanted to start with one of my favorite quotes from Dr. King, which says, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. And that's served me well in my career and is part of the philosophy that we try to impart on our members at River City. These are really challenging times for a lot of people, and you know the effects that the pandemic have had on the economy is wide and severe, but none more so than in women head of household situations, Latino households, African American households, and Native American households are really bearing the brunt of the economic downturn that the pandemic has created. And we take our role in that very seriously. When the CARES Act first came into play last year, despite the fact that River City had never done an SBA loan, we jumped in with the Paycheck Protection Program and started offering that product to our members and non-members. But our focus was on those in vulnerable situations, in low to moderate income households and businesses. Because what we recognized was for San Antonio, for San Antonio's economy to truly be strong and truly recover, we need a vibrant, healthy small business community, and we need these businesses to thrive. That's where jobs are created. That's where independent wealth is created, where people start buying homes and becoming financially independent. So our focus again with the SBA Paycheck Protection Program loans has been on small borrowers. Our average loan size was about $19,000 last year, and we're seeing the same this year as the program has restarted. We really think that everyone has a right to basic, safe, and affordable financial products and services, regardless of citizenship status. We recognize that our industry sometimes is not as inclusive as it should be, the mainstream financial industry. I often have told people that our industry treats it like strike one and you're out. You know, if you've made a mistake or you had a problem, you're kind of banished from having an account or having a loan with anyone other than a predatory institution. And by those, I'm referring to paycheck companies, finance companies, cash advance. They're all over our city and county. But we believe that people have a right to have an account, to save their own money so that they're not paying fees and interest to do things that a lot of us take for granted. That a lot of people, well, an account's free. It's not free for a lot of people. If you don't have a basic checking account, you could be spending $60 to $70 a month paying bills, getting paycheck advances, etc. It's truly an embarrassment for our society that so many people have to operate that way. We also know that a majority of our members that have small businesses, and I'm talking true small businesses running out of their homes, 1 to 2 person operations, have a lot of trouble getting access to capital. You're not going to see, and this isn't a dig at them, but you're not going to see large banks reaching into some of these communities where the need is huge and where people are really trying their best to make a better life for themselves, to make their businesses healthy and prosper. And that is really why we're doing what we do with the SBA loans. It's so many of our borrowers in last year, it was the first time they had ever borrowed in their business name, which is astounding, that these businesses have survived so long, just basically by the sweat and personal funds of those owners. And what we're trying to do is let people know, I know our other panelists are doing this as well, to let people know that there is help, there are resources, and it's not reserved for the 1%. It's not reserved for people who, the old quote, if you don't need the money, you can get money. Now, that's just not true, and it's very unfortunate. But again, we know the pandemic has really hurt a lot of the communities that we serve, who are seeing downturns in revenue. They're seeing downturn in really everything that they're trying to do with their business. And we're just trying to get that message out there that there is hope, there is help, and we encourage people to reach out. As previously mentioned, we are a CDFI, a Community Development Financial Institution. We are also a minority deposit institution, and what that means, the majority of our members are minorities. The vast majority of our members are low to moderate income, and we have been successful in serving them because we see that as our mission. That's why our credit union exists, and that's why we're here, is to serve. And on this day of service, I'm proud to be part of that movement and proud to be leading this credit union. The last thing I would mention is that we really are here for our members, and we had to walk a lot of people through the Paycheck Protection Program process. It's like I mentioned, a lot of people had never borrowed for their business before. So we did a lot of hand holding. We did a lot of face-to-face meetings. And now, of course, we're doing a lot of Zoom and Microsoft Teams meetings with our members to help them through this. And, we knew that going into the second round of the CARES Act that is now in place, we knew we were going to get a lot of repeat borrowers because we know a lot of businesses are really struggling. And that's been true. About 90%, over 90% of the applications that we've seen so far in the second round have been people that we did loans for last year under the CARES Act. And, you know, I guess the message is that I would want to get out is you're not alone. We know there are struggles. We know what's going on with the local economy, with the national economy. We have worked with our members tirelessly to put them in a better financial footing, regardless of what that means. Resetting loans, resetting payments, you know, whatever we have to do. We are in this with our members, and you know, we're proud to serve. Proud to serve this community and proud to serve the members that call River City their main financial institution. So thank you for your time, and appreciate being on this panel with especially with the other panelists who I know share the same mission that we do.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ivy.
My pleasure.
Okay.
And I got to find where I can make you the host again.
Okay, yeah. Click on my name, Ortega.
Thank you.
And then host.
Make host. There we go.
Thank you, Mr. Ivy. Okay, our next panelist. Do you see my screen? Yes, to confirm. Tere?
Sí, aquí estás. Aquí,
Do you see my screen?
yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for confirming. Our next panelist is Alma Valdez Brown. She has worked with Lead Fund since 2008 as Senior Business Development Officer. She has helped many business owners with loans and technical assistance. She belongs to local chambers and organizations that focus on small business development and education. Alma was named the 2016 Financial Services Champion of the Year by the Small Business Administration Regional Office. She's a graduate of Leadership Texas 2018, a program of leadership women for women in the state of Texas. Alma is committed to her community. Her past experience is in residential and commercial real estate. Alma has lived in San Antonio for most of her life. She's married and she has 2 children. Thank you, Alma, for being here today.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Okay, let me see if I can.
Let me make you
Sure.
host.
While you're making me the host, I just want to say good morning. And first of all, thank you to the YWCA for inviting me to present about Live Fund and self-employment entrepreneurship. And thank you, Jeff Ivy. I hope to meet you one day in person. You have a great team over there with Chris Robles and Sonia. I love them. And so it's a pleasure to meet you via Zoom. And Richard, thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you too. All right, let's see. Okay, can you guys see my PowerPoint?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. So Lift Fund is a nonprofit organization, and we are here, just like Jeff said, to help. Our mission is to help entrepreneurs, to help someone that is starting or growing a small business when they really can't get, number one, a loan through a traditional bank or lender, but we also help with education. We, just like SBDC with Richard's organization, we help with a lot of advising and workshops and classes, and I'll talk about that. I, as Sagrario said, have been with the organization. Next month will be 13 years. And so my role is a loan officer, and it's been a wonderful experience meeting and talking to business owners, people that are, maybe they're already in business and they want to grow, or maybe they just have an idea and they don't know where to go. And so my role is to really help through that process and be a resource. And so I also would invite anyone who's interested or knows someone to reach out to all three of our organizations, because I don't think that there is just, one organization that can help you if you're starting or growing your business. Maybe Lift Fund can help with a particular item or a particular thing, and maybe Jeff through River City can also help, and Richard as well. So we all work together. It's a wonderful partnership, and I always say it's really great to start a business in San Antonio because of the wonderful small business community that we have. So let's talk about self-employment. Self-employment is working for yourself. And there are many people out there that maybe they are in catering or doing snacks. Maybe they're a home daycare, or maybe they're in transportation or contracting. There's so many different ways in which someone can be self-employed and turn that into a small business and become an entrepreneur. We at Lift Fund are here to help you to do that, whatever your need is going to be. And here on the screen, if you can see, we've got two examples of two business owners that we've helped. On the left, you'll see Joey and Cecilia, who are a married couple and were working at the parents' restaurant, and saw a need that they wanted to grow their own business and build a future for themselves and their small family. They also have small children, and so they opened up Palateria San Antonio, which is at the Hemisphere Park, and we helped them with their
You
startup.
had asked me if Mr. LaFoon voted for Trump.
Oh, I think somebody's talking in the background. I'm
I
going to
think
keep
he did.
going. You know what? If you can mute yourself, that would be great. Thank you. And then on the right, you'll see Rob. Rob was already in business and came to us because he wanted to grow his business. He wanted to open up a second location. He owns Big Hops. Excuse me, is it called Big Hops? Yes, Big Hops. It's a craft beer location, and so we helped him to open up and build out
So how long is that trail going to take you?
his lease space. And so these are examples of entrepreneurs that we've helped. So is entrepreneurship for you? At Lift Fund, we believe that if you have these 5 characteristics, then you probably have what it takes to become a successful entrepreneur. Obviously, you have to be able to identify a problem and come up with a solution, whether it's a product or a service. You've got to be flexible and adaptable. If I keep thinking that this is the only way that I'm going to solve the solution, it's going to be very difficult for me to grow and probably adapt, especially, for example, with COVID, right? There's so many businesses that had to pivot and adapt to their services or products that they were offering. You also have to have motivation, perseverance. There's been a lot of business owners that maybe we couldn't help with a loan, but they kept trying and they kept trying, and they came back and they were successful with their business. So despite having been told no, business owners or entrepreneurs have this motivation to keep going. You've got to be action oriented, and you have to have a passion. You have to love what you do. When someone comes in and says, this is what I love to do, I can feel it, I can sense it, I know that they're going to be a successful entrepreneur. So let's talk a little bit about Lift Fund. As I mentioned, we're a nonprofit organization. We've been operating for a little over 25 years. As far as loans, last year, 2020, we made over 1,800 loans and 43.6 million in capital. We did education and consultation. That's one-on-one or in a workshop, kind of a Zoom or workshop at the beginning of the year in 2020. And we provided over 4,000 individual hours of service. Our clients are diverse. 83% of our clients are minority, 39 being women-owned businesses. And we have wonderful partners in the community that we do work with and help so that we can meet and help with our mission. How do we do that? We do that with 3 things. small business loans, which is the team that I'm on. We have business education and financial education, and then resources. So going back to the loans, we do offer small business loans. We are a small business lender for the PPP program, that Paycheck Protection Program. So we are taking applications on our website for that. And we're also an SBA lender. All of this is just high level, and if someone is interested in talking to me a little further about what might be the best fit, that is what I do. That's my job. Is I want to make sure that if it's a fit with Lift Fund, you're going to know that. If it's not, then we'll refer you out to another lender or another bank if it's a better fit for another or another lender. On the business education, we do offer, just as SBDC does, some of our funding comes from the SBA to offer individual consultations, and we do offer help with credit and financials, and also we have group settings like group webinars and also individual, like I said, classes. And I mentioned the resources that we have through the community. So these are our 3 programs that we have through Lift Fund. The first one being our Women's Business Center that I mentioned is partly funded by the SBA. At no charge, we can meet with you. Right now it's virtually, and just help you with business advising, how to form a business, help you with your business plan, and really just help you with the first steps of starting that business or even growing that business. Through our second one, Launch SA, which is a program of the City of San Antonio. I like to call this our one-stop shop. This program is located in the Central Library downtown, and we've got a great team there that also offers workshops and also is a big connector. So if I'm in business and I want to start maybe bottling a product like maybe jams or jellies, I can go to Launch SA and they'll connect me with other groups that are doing the same thing. And maybe they can connect me so that I can maybe find a mentor or maybe get a discount on my packaging, whatever my need is. And then lastly, we have Liftoff. Liftoff is our old headquarters, which is located just east of downtown off of South Hackberry, and we've converted it into an incubator. So here we have shared space where someone can lease a month-to-month or a 6-month space, whether it's a private or a non-private. It's unlimited access to the building, unlimited printing. So this is for someone who's maybe in business that doesn't want to meet clients at their home and prefers to have a virtual office. That's what Liftoff does.
Okay.
So now let's talk about the our impact, our loans. So because most of our clients that are coming to us are those business owners that can't get a bank loan, our goal, our mission is to really help them to graduate, right? So we do report back to your credit bureau. We're helping you to establish your credit so that you can one day graduate from us and not need a loan from us, but maybe go to your bank or your credit union and get a loan through there. So our loans help with that. We help with business owners who are hiring, creating jobs, creating wealth so that they can create assets, whether they're sending their kids to school or whether they want to buy a house or a vehicle. Our loans help business owners to do that. One program that I want to mention, and I think this is my last, well, I've got a couple of tips, but we have a special loan program that I feel it's important to mention. It's through the City of San Antonio. This is a loan program up to $50,000 with a 0% interest rate loan. It's a great program. There is a focus on minority and women business owners. The loan can be really for any business for any business purpose. The information is on our website for this program. If someone's interested, they can contact me or go to our website. But it's a great program. It is limited, so I do say that if someone is interested, they should reach out to us right away because this program is on a first come, first serve basis. And this is our 4th year working with the City of San Antonio offering this wonderful 0% interest rate loan. So basically, the city pays your interest rate. You get a 0% interest rate for the life of the loan. And I'll give you an example. For a $20,000 loan, we'll probably give you 4 years to pay it back. So you pay back your loan monthly payments at a 0% interest rate loan, and the city is who is paying your interest rate for that 4 years if you take the loan for 4 years. So again, our website is liftfund.com, and you'll find information about this program, about the PPP loan program, and even how to schedule an appointment with one of our business advisors. Everything is through our website. Tips to prepare. So this is just for someone who's self-employed, someone who wants to start their business or make it more formal. These are tips. Number one, determine your budget. Do you have a budget so that it can, so that your business can become either more formal or grow? Know your credit history, know your score. That's very helpful. If you need to work on that, then take the time to work on that. And then finalize your business plan and your financials. And you can use our business advisors to do that at no charge, making an appointment, and we can help you to do that. When you're ready for a loan, you'll talk with me or one of our other lenders, and we'll go over the 5 C's of credit, which is how do you get a loan? How do you qualify for a loan? The biggest difference between our criteria and that of a traditional lender is that we have some more flexibility in this criteria. So just an example on credit, we have more flexibility. We don't really have a minimum credit score, but obviously the better your credit, the more you can qualify for, and the opposite, right? The not so good credit is probably qualifying for a smaller loan. But we really work with entrepreneurs and try to get you either a no, not yet, or a yes, you're ready for a loan. And then if you're a startup, if you're a pure startup and you are saying, you know what, I think I'm ready to take that leap. I'm ready to start my business. We do require that you have experience, that you have a business plan that we can help you with, that you have a secondary income and we can talk one-on-one about that, and that you have some money to inject. So I always tell people that are starting their business to make sure they save some money, because we are going to require that you have a 20% injection. And that is it. My contact information is here. The phone number that you see on the screen is my direct line. You're welcome to call me, reach out to me. I think that the biggest takeaway here is that along with our other panelists, we're here to help. And if you think you want to start a business, or you know you want to start a business, it doesn't hurt to reach out to us. We'd be glad to talk to you. And really, I think it's not a one-time meeting. It's not a one-time conversation. I think it takes time for someone to start or grow their business. And so we would love to be part of that, that process with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alma.
Okay.
Okay. Can you please make me a host again?
Yes, ma'am. Let me work on that.
Thank you, Alma.
Do you know how to do that?
Okay.
Click on the name, Alma.
On my name, Ortega.
Oh, make host. Huh. So easy. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for your patience and cooperation.
Okay, Sagrario, I'm gonna jump in here.
Okay. I was going to introduce you.
How did they know me? Go ahead.
Okay. Do you see my screen, Veronica?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I would like to introduce our next panelist. I'm so happy to introduce her, Veronica Sanders. She has more than 20 years of experience in planning, developing, and implementing programs related to health, economic empowerment, education, employment, and social justice. She has an influential reach into the community, including local government leaders in the nonprofit and for-profit worlds, as well as the community at large. Ms. Sanders has a degree in social work from Universidad Autónoma de Juárez in Mexico, along with various certifications in our community of in community health and health life insurance. Ms. Sanders manages the Economic Empowerment Advancement Program at YWCA and coordinates the Ventanilla de Asesoría Financiera at the Mexican Consulate.
Thank you, Sagrario.
You're welcome. Are you going to share?
Thank you. No, I don't. I'm not going to share any slides. First, I just want to thank again our guests, our panelists, because of their very short time. I sent that invitation, and that shows how committed you really are with our community. And it's what each one of you said during your presentation. You know, YWCA is dedicated to eliminate racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. And in order to reach our mission, that's why we need these kind of partners. Like Alma was saying too, one organization not may be able to give you all the resources that you need, but in partnership with organizations in our community, that's how we can serve you the best. And I truly appreciate the participation of our panelists today, and not only today, but all through the years. These have been partners, very, very important partners for us to reach our mission, like I was saying. Uh, YWCA Economic Empowerment Program is not only about entrepreneurs. Alma was saying, you need to have some preparation. And Jeff was saying, not everybody has access to banking services. So our economic empowerment program and Ventanilla Asesoría Financiera main purpose is to bridge or give these resources to everybody in an equal terms. Uh, how do we come up with this? How do I open a bank account? Or how many people is working as a self-employed, and the big difference about self-employed and small business owners. So YWCA brings that information. They say, you have been working on your own, uh, what they call it, hustling on the side. Let's formalize this business and have those opportunities for maybe the loans or ways to grow your business. So we do have a lot of education for entrepreneurs to help them reach their goals and to refer them to these other institutions. A lot of the people that we work with, many times, even though they know that UTSA may have some education opportunities, Live Fund has some classes, but many times, oh, they can go to the bank. Many times, those institutions are a little bit, what would you say, they're afraid to step in. They are serious institutions. They're maybe not used to going to a university or college campus. So that is the importance of us being a community center, that we're able to reach out to them and then introduce these people, like you say today, and realize that they are approachable human beings with a great mission on their heart and in their institutions. So that's another way that we bridge those situations. We do have a lot of education on financial literacy. Let's prepare for that business. So we need to learn about what is an account and how to open one, how to manage one. We need to learn about credit. So we do offer that information. We also have an excellent program for 50 plus, we're calling it. It gets to the time that we get maybe close to retirement, but never had the time to really plan before. Or maybe we have seniors already into retirement that they need help with their finances, that they don't know if they can sell their home or have just been able to transfer their titles, or many times there is some abuse of their finances by even other members of their family. So we bring that constant awareness and education. So we try to serve the whole population, the young adults, entrepreneurs, and older adults. You have a spectrum of services under the Department of Economic Empowerment. But I would like to kind of ask some questions to Richard, Jeff, Alma. Today, and this is special day of service, can we reimagine our services, or that access to services, access to credit, access to funds in a more justice and equal society? What will be your dream, or how would you see that happening in our times? Well, Jeff, would you like to take that?
Well, sure. you know, corporations, companies have vision statements and mission statements, and our vision is that every household in our market has access to, again, the safe, affordable, and reasonable financial products and services, and don't feel like they're being left out. They don't feel like they're being left behind. They don't feel like they don't qualify, or we're told no, or I don't belong there, that kind of, you know. We've got a long way to go in that. We have an extremely long way to go in the immigrant community to get that message out. I asked Congressman Castro not too long ago, how long did he think it was going to take to undo some of the damage that's been done to our immigrant community over these last 4 years? The fear, the, you know, the myth, the lies, the you know, the misinformation. And he said it's going to take a long, long time. And so our work is never going to be done, unfortunately. But that's our vision, is that we reach that state in San Antonio and Bexar County where people, you know, aren't afraid to ask for assistance, you know, apply for financial products, start businesses, and be financially independent. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of organizations, you know, with that message, but it can happen. But you know, it's not going to be easy, but it can happen.
Right. Thank you, Jeff. Kind of the same question for you, Richard. What is UTSA, Small Business Development Corporation, doing to attract or to serve those that may, you know, all your efforts and all the different departments, what are we doing to really reach everybody and have a more equal service?
Great, thank you, Veronica. Yeah, so one of the things I think is working with people like Jeff and Alma to better understand, make sure that we understand their programs. And you heard Jeff talk a little bit about what they're trying to do to reach those businesses that have difficulty in getting funding. I know Alma mentioned in her presentation, I've known this for years and working with her, you know, they have these buy down programs where they buy down the interest to make it more funding more available to those business owners that might not normally have an opportunity to get that kind of funding. So we try to educate ourselves and partner with the resources that are doing some things to reach those types of markets, to help those people that, those entrepreneurs that have not been able to take advantage of those things in the past. And so we, one of the things I think that we do on our part, since we're more about education, and working with the clients directly and then sending them to the funding sources, whether it's a bank, a credit union, a micro lender, et cetera, is to educate ourselves on all the different types of funding. So there's many different types of funding that might be more appropriate for an entrepreneur, number one. And number two, to help that business owner understand what some of those requirements are. For those banks and credit unions, or, you know, for example, what Jeff is looking for, or understand what Alma's looking for, so that sometimes it's not maybe a matter of that particular business owner being turned on, you know, just because. It might be because of a specific reason that if we can provide that education, then we can help that business owner and entrepreneur get prepared and be ready to go in and be successful in getting that funding. And so the other thing we do is we, as I mentioned, we work very closely, for example, with your program. So we come in and we participate in your small business programs, provide education. But we also work with not only all the 20 some odd chambers in the metro area, but also organizations, EDOs, I call them, economic development organizations, such as SAGE, San Antonio for Growth on the East Side, WDC, the West Side Development Corporation, Southside First Economic Development Council. So we've got partnerships. I personally know those directors, those CEOs, and we work very closely with them to educate them about our services so that they can send the clients to us so we can better prepare them.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, and I testify to that. I think one of the greatest things that you all do is that participation with our clients. Like we were saying, we have these classes, we invite UTSA, we invite River City, Live Fund, other partners in the community, and always that availability, that interest in coming and talking to our entrepreneurs or talking to our clients. Like say, we appreciate that, and that is one of the things that I can see that you are doing to reach out to all. Thank you, Richard.
I have a question for the panelists before we conclude. I would like to let you know that this webinar is being recorded to share with our network in the Economic Empowerment Program. So what advice would you share with the community as a new presidential administration comes in to prepare for any financial uncertainty coming up in the next months ahead? What advice would you give to the community?
If I can just say that, you know, to be prepared and don't be afraid to reach out to these organizations that are here to help you. You know, if I need to be prepared in order to take advantage of some possible programs, then if I don't know anything about it, then I'm going to certainly see if Richard, through his maybe COVID program, can help me to answer those questions so that I'm better prepared. So don't be afraid to ask for help through these partner organizations, Live Fund, through River City or SBDC and other organizations.
Okay, thank you. Any additional comments or questions that you may have?
I'd just like to add that, you know, I've not been to every city in the country, but I can tell you, I feel like I'm under the impression, I'm pretty sure my colleagues here agree, but I don't know that there's a more of a supportive small business entrepreneurial effort going on in a community than San Antonio, Texas, in the entire country. I mean, there are so many resources. We run into each other at all these events. You know, we compete, but we're also collaborators, and we see each other at the same meetings. We're participating at the same functions. We're on the same panels, and there is so much help for small business owners and entrepreneurs. And so what I would advise is just for the small business owners to take advantage of these resources. I mean, I'll just give you an example. Next week, I believe it's Wednesday, one of my advisors will be doing a talk on the latest information on PPP with the Northwest Chamber of Commerce, Northwest San Antonio Chamber of Commerce. And so we'll be presenting, you know, what we know to this point about the new PPP program. So there's these things that are going on all the time, all these different programs, all these organizations of which we all collaborate are always out there trying to put information out for the small business owner and entrepreneur. And so, you know, take advantage of it. You know, don't just show up and say, I want to start a business, I got turned down. Educate yourself, take advantage of these resources. They're free, they're no cost, they're low cost. And, you know, and then you're better prepared to be successful.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. You know, actually on the YWCA, we have these kind of events that they're always free. And, you know, it's true. We need to take advantage of all this information. I don't know if you have another comment, another question now that Veronica is here and Sagrario and all this amazing panel. And if you have any questions, or if not, you're welcome to join the ZoomB that I'm going to leave the link on the chat now. And we're going to continue. We're going to take a 15 minutes break, so you can stay here with us and just chat, or you can join the ZoomB that is going to continue with another panel. And thank you for your collaboration, and we're on the process of, you know, I'm working with 2 different computers, as you can see. We're trying to make it as smooth as possible. How was your experience?
We learn as we go. That has been the 2020 kind of a deal, you know, learn as you go. And like Jeff said, crawl, run, whatever it is, just keep on moving.
Exactly.
That's what we try. And with great partners, the move is a lot easier. So I really appreciate again, Richard, Jeff, Alma, your time, and today's the special day and holiday. So thank you. And like Teresa said, we're going to continue and maybe with the closing panel. So you're more than welcome to join us on the chat is the Zoom, the next Zoom that we need to click on just to say goodbye to this wonderful day. And I will keep on bugging you. I will keep on inviting you because you are just a wonderful resource to our community. And that's what we're here for, just to inform and try. We try so hard to let them know that you exist. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I already, as I told you, the main Zoom is on the chat, and you can reincorporate to the last panel and leave your comments or whatever you want. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Alma. Ya te extrañaba. Thank you, Jeff. And, Veronica, yeah, I miss you already. Sagrario. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you on the other chat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Okay.